There are now many people in President Trump's inner circle that have tested positive for COVID-19. While we don't know exactly where they all got the virus or who initially spread it, the photos from the Rose Garden last week during the nomination announcement of Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court show many who've tested positive in close proximity, including President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Senator Mike Lee, Senator Thom Tillis, Kellyanne Conway, Notre Dame President Reverend John Jenkins, Chris Christie, Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. Now, so far, VP Mike Pence and most of this front left row have tested negative. And with this many politicians sick, we wanted to revisit the official guidelines for quarantining and isolating if you're sick. First, what's the difference between quarantine and isolation? Well, according to the CDC, isolation is when someone who is sick or tested positive for COVID purposefully stays away from others, quote, even in their own home. Now, the CDC recommends you isolate for at least 10 days after symptoms first appear and until you go at least 24 hours without a fever. They also say people who test positive but may not have symptoms should still isolate themselves for at least 10 days. Then there's quarantining. Now, this is for people who aren't sick and have not tested positive but have recently come in contact with someone who does have COVID-19. CDC guidelines for quarantine say to stay home for 14 days, check your temperature twice a day, and watch for symptoms of COVID-19. Now, in response to these cases in the government, the Senate has delayed their floor proceedings until October 19th, and Attorney General William Barr is quarantining right now. But VP Mike Pence is not currently quarantining. His physician put out this statement saying, quote, "The vice president is not considered a close contact with any individuals who've tested positive for COVID." Folks, if you've got any other questions you want us to look into, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.